things. Everything in the universe is so beautiful and balanced that it shows the great wisdom of the Almighty. God protects everything from destruction and misbalance. Constant change and transformation in the universe also proves the Almighty's greatness. Brief statements of other thinkers. The accomplished intellectual Fomtetl writes in his encyclopedia that the importance of science is not because it reduces the fervor of intellects. Rather, the greatest advantage of these sciences is that they invite our attention to the Creator of the universe, and they instill in us an awe of the Creator. The well-known philosopher Pascal says, the Creator is an unlimited sphere whose pivot is everywhere and whose dominions are without limits of space. The same philosopher also says, except for faith in God, nothing gives us internal peace and quenches the thirst of the soul. Lamina says, the word in the denial of the Creator burns the lips of the one who utters it. He also says that search for something other than God and absolutely unconnected with his being is nothing but an effort towards annihilation. Lo Cordon says, God is that unique sun whose living and everlasting rays impart help and life to the existing things. Fu says, God is aware of everything. He has control over everything and he is controlling all the systems of the universe. Gordon says, God is that eternal and everlasting power by whose favor the whole universe has come into existence and continues to develop. In the 19th century encyclopedia there is a statement of Proton that, God is a reality beyond our understanding and describing whose qualities is beyond our capacity. But despite this his existence is certain and undeniable. Before our intellects could investigate the existence of God, our conscience had already witnessed it. On page 354 of Dictionary of Stories of Qur'an, Lamartine, a great French poet and litterateur says, a heart devoid of God is a court of law without a judge. These were some few examples of the statements of Western thinkers. May our young people pay attention to this and derive benefits from those great thinkers and confess to the greatness of those thinkers who believe in and have faith in Allah. Removal of dirt. Aloofness taqliya is to keep oneself away from things that are obstacles in recognizing Allah. In other words, it means that we must purify our heart of all pollutions of the heart. The greatest pollutant of the soul is selfishness. That is to consider oneself most important and not in need of Allah, and this mistaken notion is the result of blind faith. Some people feel happy at this mistaken notion. They acquire a little bit of knowledge and consider themselves intellectuals, although this knowledge is limited while their ignorance is unlimited. How can a person consider himself an intellectual though he is unaware of the most obvious truth and the recognition of God? This is nothing but pride and a compounded ignorance. Compounded ignorance is that a person is unaware of his ignorance. He also does not know what he is unaware of. He shall remain in the compounded ignorance forever. Some details regarding compounded ignorance are mentioned in the beginning of this book in the chapter of the cure of disbelief. Let us revise these points again. Cure of self-worship. One must think upon his helplessness time and again and must ponder on his temporal nature from the aspect of his self, qualities and actions. He must understand that whatever there is, it is by the favor and mercy of Allah. He is in need of Allah every moment of his life. Another beneficial thing for the cure of egotism is that one must contemplate upon one's creation and composition. That initially he was dispersed in form of particles of elements, then he came into the loins of his father, then in the womb of the mother, and finally he arrived into the external world. Thus from the cradle to his present condition, each stage is worth contemplation. One should imagine his future conditions and even his death. Then he must think what his condition would be in the frame where his body will once again disperse into particles and he would again return to the previous condition. From it we created you and into it we shall send you back and from it will we raise you a second time. 26. Then one should consider in detail one's present condition and think upon one's life and death. He must take note of his health and sickness, strength and weakness, old age or youth, honor or dishonor. Thus he must study all his conditions over whom he has no control and whom he cannot mold according to his wish and will, so much so that he does not even exercise control over his thoughts and memory. He desires to understand and memorize many things, but he cannot do so always. His desire just remains a desire. In brief, we can say that one should consider one's helplessness and lack of control, weakness and lowliness from every angle. The more he is aware of this, the more he will be able to achieve the recognition of himself and his creator and the creator of others. He would be able to understand the limitless wisdom and power of Allah, and he would similarly be able to confess his ignorance and weakness. Self-recognition. A famous tradition of the Holy Prophet says, one who recognized his self, recognized his Lord. Some scholar has explained this tradition as follows. One who understands his phenomena, that he was nothing and then he came into existence. He understands his annihilation and decaying, indeed. Understands that his Lord is eternal and everlasting. He is from eternity and would remain forever. Anyone who realizes his helplessness, infirmity and ignorance, would certainly realize all is unlimited power, wisdom and control. Anyone who realizes that he is a creature, getting sustenance from the sustainer God, would certainly achieve the recognition of his creator and sustainer. In the same way as many qualities of himself a man realizes, as much recognition of God he achieves. By contemplation, any sane person can know that the creation of the soul in his body, his physical makeup and everything in every sphere of his life is not by itself. Certainly, somebody has created all this. Someone sustains and manages it all. He is also the creator and the originator of all the parts of the existing world. One who wants to deepen his recognition of God should pay more attention to this. He should read the versified supplication Munajat of Imam Ali A.S., quoted in the rituals of Kufa Mosque in Mafatih al-Jinan. Also, for this purpose it is essential to ponder upon its meanings. Some lines of this supplication are as follows. O my Master, O my Master! You are the living and I am a dead, and who will show mercy on a dead? Except the living. O my Master, O my Master! You are eternal and I am perishable, who can be merciful on the perishable? Except the eternal. O my Master, O my Master! You are everlasting and I am declining. Who can be merciful on the declining except the everlasting? O my Master, O my Master! You are the sustainer and I am a sustained one. And who can be merciful?